Hello and welcome to my bookshelf tour. This is obviously my 2017 bookshelf tour and I will be showing you every single book that is on this shelf. So as you can see, number one, these shelves are very tall, like taller than me. So there will be a few weird angles throughout this video, which I apologize for. I did the best I could with maneuvering a tripod on top of a table, on top of other things. So I tried to get the best angle I could. Just know because it is so tall and I am so very short that it was kind of complicated getting. My husband actually built me these shelves, which is so awesome and so kind. It kind of goes into my desk, which is right here, which I'll show you a little bit about, but mostly this video is all about the books. That's all I have to say really. Let's just get on to the bookshelf tour and the very many books that I own. So yay, I'm excited to share with you my 2017 bookshelf tour. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. We are at the very top of my bookshelf. Like I said, this is tall. This right here, this is as tall as I can reach. Like, oh god, that's about it. Like, this whole shelf, I keep a lot of adult books. I keep a lot of really tall hardback books. As you can tell, these are all very tall. First up, we have Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. Then we have Yes Please by Amy Poehler. Landline by Rainbow Rowell. Homegoing by Ya Gasai. I probably pronounced that wrong. I apologize very much. The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer, which I have yet to read. It's What I Do, A Photographer's Life of Love and War by Lindsay Adaro. And apparently this is going to be a movie soon, I think with Jennifer Lawrence, which I still need to read. Like, I didn't know it was going to be a movie. Today Will Be Different by Maria Semple. Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, which I have yet to read. I know. Sounds Like Me, My Life So Far in Song by Sarah Bareilles. Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. The Outsiders, the 50th Anniversary Edition by S.E. Hinton. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, as well as The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. Again, these are both kind of newly relieved covers. I have yet to read either of these. Then I have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I have listened to this book. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. The Fangirl's Guide to the Galaxy by Sam Maggs. And lastly, I have this really old edition of The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is actually my dad's book. He is a huge Tolkien fan, so he gave this to me. It's kind of almost, I feel like, an heirloom, I guess. I don't know. I just like having it. Going on over, we have this old clock that we just have. I kind of like it to separate. I don't know, I feel like it looks nice. First, I have The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I plan to get a better version of this because I don't like owning this mass market paperback at all. Then I have Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. This is a middle grade novel. The Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald, which still has a Walmart sticker on it. Whoops. The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. And the last of my paperbacks, we have Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. After You by Jojo Moyes. Leave Me by Gail Forman. Into the Water by Paula Hawkins again. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Truly Madly Guilty by Leanne Moriarty. And lastly on this shelf, we have Small Great Things again by Jodi Picoult. And sorry for the weird angle. This will be the last on this shelf, so weird angle. This is where I keep the primarily majority of my contemporary, my favorite contemporary. So yeah, a lot of these are by my favorite contemporary authors, so that is why they're up here. We are going to start from here and work our way down. First up, I have my insane Sarah Dessen collection, if you can clearly see. First up, we have her latest release that is coming out in June, and that is Once and For All. And I have her two latest releases, so I have The Moon and More, Saint Anything. And the rest of Sarah Dessen books, as you can clearly see, I have all of her paperback books. We have Just Listen, Along for the Ride, The Truth About Forever, This Lullaby, Keeping the Moon, Dreamland, That Summer, and Someone Like You. So yeah, a lot of Sarah Dessen. And I have 3 Huntley Fitzpatrick books. I have My Life Next Door, The Boy Most Likely To, What I Thought Was True, like I said, all by Huntley Fitzpatrick. And I have the exclusive collector's edition of Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, one of my all-time favorite contemporary novels. Then I have books 2 and 3 in the Anna and the French Kiss series, Lola and the Boy Next Door, and Isla and the Happily Ever After, both both by Stephanie Perkins. I don't keep the first one over here because I own it in paperback and it would not fit in with all the hardbacks. I have To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy by Jenny Han, which comprises of All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, Always and Forever, Laura Jean, one of my favorite contemporary series of all time. The rest of the things that I have on the shelf are random. I have an old camera because I'm a photographer. I like having old cameras. Then I have a picture frame, honestly, and I have 2 pocket watches. One has like this old man in the sea. This one does not work. And then I have another pocket watch that was sent to me for a book photo that does work, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It even has a chain. And then I have like a inkwell with a pen, you know, kind of keep it vintagey, I guess. Moving on to my TBR shelf. This has gotten way out of hand. It used to be like this much, this and that, and then it has grown insanely so. There are a lot of books that I'm excited to read on here. I can't recommend any of these because I haven't yet read them. I know, shame on me. First up, we have The Garden of Small Beginnings by Abby Waxman, Queens of Geek by Jen Wild, What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum, Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Moldavsky, On the Fence by Casey West, Meet Me at the Cupcake Cafe by Jenny Colgan, Sweet Spot by Amy Edinger, London Belongs to Me by Jacqueline Middleton, Royce Rolls by Margaret Stoll. Finally, in the stack of books, we have A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. Next up, we have You're the One That I Want by Giovanna Fletcher, The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis, Replica by Lauren Oliver. This is a unique book where you can read it from Lyra's point of view, and you can flip it over and read it from Gemma's point of view. The Takedown by Corey Wang, Rosebud by A.G. Howard. Then we have another stack of books, A Tyranny of Petticoats, edited by Jessica Spotswood. These are 15 stories of belles, bank robbers, and other badass girls. Close Enough to Touch by Colleen Oakley, Umberland by Wendy Spinell. This is the second book in the series. The first one is over here. Missed You by Kate Oberlin, Trains the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Gorgeous cover, even has blue end pages. I'm obsessed with this book and I haven't even read it yet. Another gorgeous cover is Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay. Britt Marie Was Here by Frederick Bachman. My last bit of TBR books, again we have some paperbacks. The first one we have is another Frederick Bachman, and that is My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry. Then I have Unwind by Neil Schusterman, No Good Deed by Goldie Moldavsky. I struggle with that last word apparently. Then I have 2 Mary Kubica books. I have The Good Girl and Don't You Cry. These are both psychological thrillers and I would love to read them. Then I have Everland by Wendy Spinell, which is the first book in this series right here. So Everland, then we have Umberland. A Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, Making Up Your Mind by Jill Manson, and lastly, The Hand That Feeds You by A.G. Rich, another psychological thriller. The thing I have on this shelf is I have this mug right here, which I got in my cozy reader box. It's just of a girl sitting reading, and then on the back it says, reading gives us someplace to go when we have to stay where we are, and the quote is by Mason Cooley. It's a beautiful, beautiful mug. I love it. And then I have a little sign over here that says, you discover you have wings when you open a book, which is very, very true. So yeah, TBR shelf. Are you stressed out? Because I am. The next 2 shelves are some of my favorite shelves. So this is primarily this shelf, and the next shelf down are my video background. So I kind of design it to like aesthetically please my background, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Make it look nice. So right here, I usually keep my like current favorite contemporary books. This section of the shelf is ever changing, so if I read a good contemporary book, I will switch it out. Anyway, let's get on to it. First up, we have Geekarella by Ashley Poston. I'm not quite sure. Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. Then I have the exclusive collector's edition of Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Carry On, like I said, by Rainbow Rowell. Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, which I have signed by Nicola Yoon, which is pretty awesome. Lastly, I have The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. Right here I have a Fujifilm Instamix Mini 8, where it's like a Polaroid camera almost, and it's cute for spring and summer for the background. And then I have this book right here, which I got forever ago at a thrift store. It's just the little big book of love, and it just has love quotes, and I just love how it kind of fits in with the shelf. This little willow tree figurine of a girl reading. Then I have this really big edition of Little Woman. These are some of my favorite completed series. So first up, we have the Lunar Chronicles, which takes up the majority of the shelf. We have Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter by Marissa Meyer. And the other 2 I have are also by Marissa Meyer within the Lunar Chronicles. I have Stars Above, which is a collection of short stories, and Ferris, which is a novella that takes place before Crest, the 3rd one. So these are optional to read. You don't have to read them with the Lunar Chronicles. Then I have one of my favorite series of all time. I have The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater, which comprises of The Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves, Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and The Raven King, all by Maggie Stiefvater. One of my most recommended series of all time. I'm obsessed with this series. The Wrath and the Dawn duology, which has The Wrath Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Addahi. Plus The Rose and the Dagger, both by Renee Addahi. Like I said, it's a duology. I have this Mockingjay pen right here. Then of course we have The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay, all by Suzanne Collins. Then I have my second favorite shelf, which as you can clearly see is almost all Sarah J Maas books, as well as some others. Next up we have the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. So we have A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and the one that just came out literally a few weeks ago, A Court of Wings and Ruin. I think this might be my second favorite series ever. I love it so much. Highly recommend. Then I have the Throne of Glass series, like I said, all by Sarah J Maas. First up we have the Assassin's Blade. This is kind of the, this is a whole collection of novellas that take place before the series even begins. Of course we have Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, and the latest book, Empire of Storms. And one of my favorite series of all time. Then I have Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is a science fiction series. And Gemina, the second book in the series. Then I have Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Then I have the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. So of course we have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Here I have just the first two illustrated editions of Harry Potter. So I have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, as well as Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Then I have this frame my husband got for me with the picture inside, and it says "After all this time, always," which obviously is a Harry Potter quote, and it is beautiful. I have this picture right here with Court of Mist and Fury quote. It says, "To the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered." My next shelf begins with my Cassandra Clare collection, which obviously is a lot. We have the Mortal Instrument series, which has City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and the last book, City of Heavenly Fire. So that is 6 books, if you couldn't tell, within the Mortal Instrument series. Then I also have the Bane Chronicles, which is written by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. This follows our character Magnus Bane in the Mortal Instrument series, and I have yet to read this, honestly. Then I have the first book in the Dark Artifices series, which is Lady Midnight. I have this Mortal Instruments candle, which I got in a fairy loot box a while ago. It just fits in so nicely. I have the Infernal Devices box set. You can see has all of the characters and their respective covers, and I will take them out for you so I can show you them. We have Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess, like I said, all by Cassandra Clare. She has 3 series, honestly. So she has the Mortal Instruments, the Dark Artifices, and the Infernal Devices. Moving over, I have this beautiful collage that my friend over at Cassidy Von Shea made me a couple years ago, and it has the quote, "The stories we love best live with us forever" by J.K. Rowling, and she just made it, and it's really beautiful, and I always want to keep it up here because I love Cassidy and I love the fact that she made this for me. Then in this last section of this shelf, I have some more series that are still ongoing. Some of them are completed. Either way, they're kind of taller series, if you can see. They're tall books, and yeah. First series I have is the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, which of course has A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light. Then I have Three Dark Crowns by Kendara Blake. This is the first book in a duology. The second one should be coming out in September. I think this is a duology. I'm not quite sure, but I love this book. Lastly, I have the Passenger duology by Alexander Bracken, which of course has Passenger, as well as Wayfarer. I have read Passenger, I've not yet read Wayfarer. Cora Val by Stephanie Garber, a first book in a series again. I have book 1 in the Witchland series by Susan Dennard. The first book is Truth Witch, and the second book is Wind Witch, which I still yet to read Wind Witch. Last series I have on the shelf is the Fifth Wave series by Rick Yancey, so of course we have the Fifth Wave, The Infinite Sea, and The Last Star. I have read these first 2, have not yet read The Last Star. I don't know if I'm planning to, if I'm honest with you. Okay, welcome to the floor. The floor is literally right here, so it's a weird angle because my camera is literally almost on the floor, so forgive me for the weird angle. This last shelf is an array of things. There's a lot of series I've finished. There's some books I haven't read. There's some standalone books I finished. This is kind of like a catch-all shelf. This is the one that is the least organized. So to begin, I'm going to start over there with the really insanely tall books that are like kind of coffee table books. So forgive me as you can't see this completely, but this is Harry Potter page to screen. This is a huge book of different things with Harry Potter in it. I have Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Harry Potter Film Wizardry, again another book full of pictures and interactive content and things like that. Then I have The Creature Vault, again another interactive Harry Potter book, and this is literally all the creatures that are in Harry Potter. Then I have Harry Potter coloring book. No, I have not colored any pages in this. I don't know if I ever will. Then I have the case of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This is again like a little case, and it's just about the movie of Fantastic Beasts. This book called Love Letters, an anthology of passion, and this is literally all just kind of love letters from the times, and it has like little interactive things again. I love books like that. I have 3 Lauren Conrad books, and these are books I feel like I need to get rid of soon. I'm just not sure yet. So I have Beauty, Celebrate, and Style, all by Lauren Conrad. Again, these are coffee table books. I do not refer to them a lot, so I don't know why I have them. These are where it gets really random. So I have Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. And I have the Young Elites trilogy by Marie Lu, which comprises of The Young Elites, The Rose Society, and The Midnight Star. Then I have the Divergent trilogy by Veronica Roth, which has Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant. We also have 4, which is like a Divergent collection. This has a bunch of novellas in it, I believe. These are kind of older books, I guess. Well, not the first one. The first one is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I have read this book and really enjoy it. I have This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I think I might move this up on my other shelf. I'm not sure. Like I said, this shelf is ever changing. Then I have A Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst and Ember in the Ashes by Sabatir. This is the first book in the series, with the second one being A Torch Against the Night. Then I have the Across the Universe trilogy, which it has Across the Universe by Beth Revis, A Million Suns by Beth Revis, and Shades of Earth, all by Beth Revis. I also forgot, I have this one that usually goes right up here. That is The Edge of Everything by Jeff Giles, which I said usually goes right there. Again, this is just horrible. Don't judge me on this last shelf. Then I have this last stack of books that are random. I have the Wolf by Wolf duology by Ryan Grandin. So I have Wolf by Wolf. I have Blood for Blood. I love this duology. I'm running out of space. Always running out of space. My Lady Jane by Cynthia Han, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadow. Open Road Summer by Emery Lord, which I should probably move up on my contemporary shelf. I don't know why it's here. Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. And lastly, Crash Into You by Katie McGarry. And this last shelf I'm not going to go through because some of this is my husband's stuff, some of this is Bible stuff. You can clearly see what it is. Top left of my shelf, like I said, this is tall, so this is as tall as I can go. So forgive me as I'm gonna have to reach. The first thing I have is this Twilight Director's Notebook. I got it forever ago. This just is the Director's Notebook for the very first Twilight. Has a whole bunch of random photos. I don't know, I just can't get rid of it, I guess. Then I have the Twilight Special 10th Anniversary Edition, where it has the, edition, and then if you turn it over, it has the Life and Death reimagined. And then we also have the rest of the Twilight series over here. So we have New Moon, Eclipse, and lastly, Breaking Dawn. First trilogy I have completed up here is the Selection trilogy by Kiara Cass. So of course we have the Selection, then we have the Elite, then finally we have the One. Not one of my favorite trilogies ever. I honestly don't like it that much, but the covers speak for themselves. That's why I'm always going to keep them, because the covers and spines are just insanely gorgeous. Next up we have the Unearthly trilogy by Cynthia Han, one of my favorite underrated trilogies by far. The first book is Unearthly, second book is Hollowed, and the last book is Boundless. The next completed series I have is the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series by Amber Ashers. First up, we have the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Then we have the second summer of their Sisterhood. Then we have Girls in Pants, the third summer of the Sisterhood. And finally, we have Forever in Blue, the fourth summer of the Sisterhood. Sorry for all the stickers. They are hard to get off of those. And the first trilogy is Delirium by Lauren Oliver. We have Pandemonium. Finally, we have Requiem. The next trilogy is the Legend trilogy by Marie Lu. So we have Legend, Prodigy, finally Champions. Last trilogy I have is the Rebel Belle trilogy. So of course we have Rebel Belle. Then we have Miss Mayhem. And then finally we have Lady Renegades. Not one of my favorite trilogies. This is maybe one that I might get rid of. But again, the covers are stunning, so I have a hard time saying goodbye to them. Then the last thing I have on this shelf is this really old camera. It's like a video camera and actually still works. If you can hear that a little bit. It just makes nice decor for it. This shelf is pretty much all of my adult paperback books. Some of them are contemporary, some of them are other genre, but they're all adult books. So I keep my adult paperbacks here and my short adult hardbacks, that makes sense. I swear I do have like a rhyme and reason to my organization. So we're gonna start from here and move over to that way. The first step, I have Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ding, Wedding Night by Sophie Kinsella, as well as her latest release, My Not So Perfect Life, also by Sophie Kinsella. I have Me Before You, 1+1, The Last Letter from Your Lover. I have read all of these and really enjoyed all of these. These are the only Jojo Moyes books I've read besides one, which does not fit with these, if that makes sense. Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. Then I have The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold, one of the first adult books I ever read, and quite a serious one if you ask me when I first read it when I was 14. I have What Alice Forgot, Big Little Lies, both by Leanne Moriarty. These are probably two of my favorite books by her. She's written a lot. Then I have A Man Called Uva by Fredrik Backman. This is a Swedish novel. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. One of my hands down favorite books, like I said, of all time. I highly, highly recommend this book, especially if you're a beginner going into adult books. This is the perfect one to kind of jump into that genre. Amazing book. Another one of my favorites is The Martian by Andy Weir. Another great book to start with science fiction in this genre. This book is just amazing. It's also one of the best book to movie adaptations I have ever seen. Then I have Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. This is a nonfiction book, but is The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. Another Sophie Kinsella book. This one is I've Got Your Number, my favorite Sophie Kinsella book. And we have one of my new favorite chick lit novels ever, and that is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Lastly, I have another nonfiction up here, and that is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns by Mindy Kaling, obviously a memoir type of book. Moving over on this shelf, I don't have any other books, as you can see. This right here, this was me and my husband's first dog, Colleen. She passed away a few years ago, unfortunately, of bone cancer, so we have her ashes up here. We have a photo of her and a paw print to always remember her, because she was our first dog, and she's very, very special to us and always will be. So we kind of like to have this up here to constantly look up at her and, you know, be reminded of her frequently. We miss her very, very much. And the other thing I have over here is just a clock that needs new batteries. It's not 5 p.m., just so you know. And a little bird statue. Like I said, I have a lot of decor things in here as well. Two primarily contemporary shelves. Can't already tell, I freaking love contemporary. So these are majority of my hardbacks and my paperback contemporary. So starting from over here and moving on. First up, I have two anthologies. I have My True Love Gave to Me, which are 12 holiday stories edited by Stephanie Perkins with a myriad of authors. And I also have Summer Days and Summer Nights, 12 love stories edited by Stephanie Perkins, which again has a numerous number of authors. This one's obviously meant to be read in the holidays. This one's obviously meant to be read in summer. I enjoy them both. If you're looking for a great anthology, I recommend both of them. I have Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. I love Morgan Matson. You'll quickly see I have every single one of her books. Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. Tell Me Three Things by Julie Buxbaum. Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. P.S. I Like You by Casey West. The Waiting Sky by Lauren Zealand, one of my favorite underrated contemporary books. The Book of Broken Hearts by Sarah Auckler. When We Collided by Emery Lord. Moving into the paperbacks, I've stacked them all right here. As you can see, I will quickly go through these. We have This Side of Home by Renee Watson. When Dipple Met Rishi by Sinan Menon. I probably pronounced that wrong. I apologize. Another Casey West book. This is By Your Side. The Duff by Cody Keplinger. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, as well as Since You've Been Gone, both by Morgan Matson, both amazing books. Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. And finally, 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. Lastly, on this shelf, I have these contemporaries right here, which I have not read any of these. They should be on my TBR shelf, but my TBR shelf is getting insanely full, so I had to actually move these over here. These are contemporary books I plan to read very, very soon, hence why they are over here. So yeah, I can't recommend any of these because I actually haven't read any of these. First up, we have Shuffle Repeat by Jen Klein. Fireworks by Katie Taguno? I always pronounce her name wrong. I apologize. The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. Whole Thing Together by Ambra Shares, who also wrote The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And finally, Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith with this insanely beautiful cover. Here I have another vintage camera. Again, it doesn't work, but it's beautiful, and I'm a photographer, so I kind of like having that in there. We arrived at my Harry Potter shelf. So Harry Potter, that's right folks, gets its own shelf because I love Harry Potter. So, of course, up here I have actually a few random things. I have this little poster that I got with the release of The Cursed Child. I don't need to unfold it for you. And then I also have a bookmark randomly for The Cursed Child my mom found. I have the two textbooks, the old releases, not the new releases, sadly. So I have Quidditch Through the Ages and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Then, of course, right here I have the box set, which has all 7 novels. I keep it on this side just because I think it's prettier on this side. But all of the books make Hogwarts, which is beautiful, and I refuse to crack open any of these because I have my old copies, but these are just for obviously display purposes. I love them. And then I have this Hogwarts is my home pen I got in an Owl Crate box, I believe. Of course, I have the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child parts 1 and 2, the special rehearsal edition script. This is my only book on my Goodreads that has yet to be rated. I don't know if I ever will rate it. Then again, I have another old edition of the Tales of Beetles the Bard, which, yeah, I haven't got any of the new editions yet. I really need to. Moving over, I'm not going to pull anything out because, as you can see, I've carefully elaborated it into a nice display. I have the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay, which the cover is beautiful. I have a set of Harry Potter glasses. I have a little pen here from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which, no, I have not gone to, unfortunately. My friend got that for me. I have a little quill pen that I think goes with it because, you know, they write with quills. This is a wallet somebody got for me. It has Undesirable Number 1. And then behind here, that's not Harry Potter related at all. It's just a notebook I've had. I feel like it kind of went with the whole theme of Harry Potter, if you know what I'm saying. Then lastly, on my Harry Potter shelf, I have my Harry Potter Funkos. I don't have too many Funkos. I honestly am not the biggest fan of them. The only ones I really want to collect are Harry Potter ones, and these are the ones I think I'm just going to have, and that's it. So, of course, I have Harry in his Quidditch robes, which is adorable. Then I have Ron Weasley, just the traditional Ron Weasley one. And then I have Hermione Granger and her, you know, traditional uniforms. Then these next two I weren't going to buy, but I got them in an Owl Crate box. So I have Draco Malfoy, and then I have the little miniature version of Fang. As well as this thing back here, I also got my Owl Crate. That is a Harry, Ron, and Hermione print. It's beautiful. I still need to frame it. I just haven't yet, but again, I love it. It's adorable, and I have to keep it behind there because, of course, it's Harry Potter. This Harry Potter thing I have, again, I got an Owl Crate Junior box. And that is this Harry Potter 100-piece Pixie Mayhem puzzle, which I have yet to set up, but I plan to very, very soon, but I just want to keep it in its box because it's Harry Potter. Why not? The last thing's over here. I have a lens. This is the lens I use primarily to film with. I'm using my other one because I'm filming a bookshelf tour. This is my Canon 50mm 1.2. This is my favorite lens of all time. And then I just have a framed photo of my family. So obviously that's me. Hello. And then I have my husband and my son Noah. And if you can see right here, this is my Mac. This kind of, my bookshelf correlates directly to my working space. So it all fits in very, very well. So if you can see, my desk directly connects to my bookshelf. So my husband actually built that for me so I could have a place to work, but it's right near my bookshelf. So it's obviously not a big desk at all. As you can see, it's very small. So it's very hard to work around, but I really love it, how everything's kind of connected and joined. Moving on a closer angle of my desk, there's really not much to show other than my Mac. I have my planner right here where I just, you know, plan things and stuff like that. If you guys want a detailed tour of my planner, I'd be more than happy to do so because this is my favorite planner ever. I also have some post-it notes for my planner and for reading and things like that. Also behind there, I have my printer, and over right here is overrun with cords. It has my 2 external hard drives. It has my card reader, it has a USB hub, it has so many things. So yeah, technical things that doesn't hold anything on it. I will admit I put my stack of like book haul books here. So throughout the month, if I buy any books or receive any books, I stack them here just so I know I can reference them for a video later. But right here, I have this beautiful print that is probably my favorite print on my whole shelf. It says books are uniquely portable magic, and the quote is by Stephen King. It's printed on this dictionary page. I got this in a book box. I can't remember what book box it's from, but I will try to link their Etsy shop down below because I love this print. I just love how it looks with it. Over here, I kind of have a book that's not really a book. You've seen them before that are kind of a safe. So in here, I just have all bookmarks, a ton of pens in here, magnets. Pretty much all bookish things go in this. If you guys want a detailed video of what's exactly in this thing, let me know. I'd be more than happy to do so because there is a ton of fun stuff in this box and I really enjoy it. I like having it all hidden, like, so it looks very decorative, but you wouldn't know the chaos that holds it inside. Moving to my 2 bottom shelves, I'm not going to do close-ups on those because there's not much to see. If you can see, sorry for the weird angle. I keep all my photography discs in there. That's a little light switch for the light above. This all right here is my bills, like I have my budget notebook. And then below it, it's kind of chaotic, I apologize. That's my bill folder where I keep all my paid bills. And there's just kind of random drawers. And then we have binders, some photography binders, some are my husband's. I keep my photos in there. Yeah, just office things are these last 2 shelves. There you have it. There is my bookshelf tour. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. It was a labor of love, that is for sure. It always takes a lot of time to edit and put together a bookshelf tour. So if you did enjoy this bookshelf tour, please let me know down in the comments. What was your favorite thing on a bookshelf? What was your least favorite thing? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I always know I love a good bookshelf tour. Like, I could watch those all day. If you want to see more bookish content from me 3 times a week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I make 3 videos a week, sometimes more, you never know, but be sure to subscribe to see more. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.